Good morning. We're live, I think. As always, I think. Got a couple things to get set up, as always. And we'll get it started. Copy this. Little announcement. Hopefully that worked. Make sure it's streaming. Yep, cool. Excellent condition, fantastic. And that means I can get the rest of her set up. I gotta figure out a better way to get set up more quickly. You know, I have a laptop now. I should be on Discord on the laptop. Oh, mistakes were made. Is it too late to do that? Probably not. We'll get started here in a few minutes. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully. Hey. Showcase joining from the gym. Awesome. Amazing. Got to give the muscle emoji for that, you know? Yeah, I gotta get Discord on a separate monitor. I think that's what I need. I have too many like chat sources here. Okay. Cool. Well, it is Saturday morning, pre 9 a.m. The event doesn't actually start till 9 a.m., so we'll get started in a minute or 8. Which is good because I haven't actually drank any of this coffee yet. That was like my second sip. And I need caffeine to function, like most people in the world these days. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, that ended up not that bad, actually. Lily. Talk about a good week, though. I mean, we had a killer set of results across the whole Discord, and that was really fun to see. Yeah, I think for me it was like second best week ever, and excluding Reddit, it was my best week ever. So I think that's what this big week prior was. It was all Reddit. I could look that up actually. Let's see. That was in August 8th. Oh yeah, that was all Reddit. Okay, my kid's screaming in the background. That's fantastic. He's playing Beat Saber or something on the Oculus. Good morning, Saul. Good to see you. Or good late night, Saul. Sorry it's so late for you. What'd you say it was? 11? Man. Well, I guess on the plus side, it's Saturday night, right? So that's good. Hey, DT. What is that? Oh, is that just the link to this? It is. Interesting. Okay. Is my link messed up? Is that link their link? That works? I guess I can bring it up, right? Is that link their link? Yep. It is. As everyone just saw. Let me edit the event. Can I edit it while we're live? Hopefully. Nope. Nope. Can't edit it. That's unfortunate. Well, hopefully people, yeah. You know what? Is that link in the Because we changed the name, and I thought we were gonna change it to Theta Daddy's Rise, but I think it's literally just Theta Daddy's, which is great. But I have to update that in the event. And in fact, somebody told me about that last time, and I totally forgot. I thought I fixed it, or I thought I looked at it, and it looked fine. So I guess not. I guess it's wrong. Hey, Muffin. Yeah, I just heard. Sorry, guys. I can't edit it right now. I was just saying. Well, you just listen to me say that. Muffin, I'm representing. I'm double representing actually. Yes. Although both the shirt and the mug are inappropriate for this week because there was not a single loss this week for I don't think anyone. There's the mug. Little glary, sorry, because my oh there you go. If I go higher. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good, right? Yeah, so right now we have no TD merch because our merch store provider bailed on us. So we've got to find a new way to like launch a merch store. But then I have muffin merch, so it's okay. I can just use that instead. What's going on, Alec? You wore that shirt yesterday. Do you have the same color, or what color did you get? Offsetting the copious gains. That's true. That's true. But I don't really have many big losses at all, which is kind of nice. Hey, that'd be cool, man. Yeah, if you wanna give us a hand with that, let me know. I think, honestly, this I feel like it's a missed opportunity of like a ton of stuff that we could be doing with merch, but the fact is, the three of us don't have the bandwidth, which comes at no surprise, I'm sure, for most people. We're all constantly active in the Discord. Two of the guys are working full time jobs. This has become my full time job. But yeah, it's definitely there's things that I want to do like I have a notebook that I would love to have a TD trader notebook, like a trade, like actually the paper inside being set up for a trade diary or whatever you would call that, journal, I guess. Probably journal's a better, more manly word for Theta Daddies. So, those are the things that I'd love to do stuff like that. I want to have like a golden rules, if not poster, which, because, most people don't do posters since the year 1998, but like a little five golden rules scroll or something that you could put on your desk as just, you know, next to your bobblehead, which, by the way, I can show everyone the bobbleheads that came in. Hold on a second. This is one of the better boxes because I will have to say not every box came out as nicely as I had hoped. They were unnecessarily dinged up, and I'm pretty upset about it, to be honest. But like, I'm not sure. There's not much I can do about it at this point. But this is the box. Ugh, there's so much glare. Why is there so much glare? There we go. There's the box, and I swear there's a bobblehead inside of it. I'm not sure I want to take it out. I'll take it out. I'll take it out. Okay. All right. I see you one-upping me over there, Muffin Man. Hold on a sec. I'll get to you. And here's the bobblehead. That is like definitely made in China. We'll have to get that one cleared. But it's a slightly different one. So this one came with Fallout 3 that I bought, right? And this one over here is like the newer version. He's thinner. He's not as fat faced as this guy, and has slightly different hairline. But I don't know. It's cool. Hopefully, nobody's going to complain since it was quote unquote free outside of paying for membership, I guess, in order to get it. But these should start going out in the next week or so. I've got everybody who is interested in having one lined up, and I just got to start getting addresses, and I have to get boxes to put them all in. But whatever, it's all good stuff. Oh man, Alec, that is a sick man cave. I like it. Very nice. Very nice. That is a battle station. Is that for you and your spouse partner? Very good. Justin's also coming in from the gym. It's amazing. Oh, and Erex made it. Awesome. I know we can make time. We can make time, Muffin Man. I know there's more time in the day than I'm using, but it's gonna encroach on my nap time. That's the problem. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Radiation will do it to you. Very good. Classic Fallout trope. Vilio Delgado. Good morning. Nothing like working out. How many people are exercising while listening to me or watching or both? I don't know. Okay, so what is what body parts are you working out? What muscle group are you working out on Saturday morning? I did my workout already. Haha, it was at 7 a.m. and it was kind of all over the place. What's going on, Red? Good to see you. By red, I'm assuming red leg. I like how you had to shorten 6 letters to 3. In Aggleton, legs. Okay, leg day. Leg day. I thought leg day was. Is it so? Monday's chest day, right? Like always, because nobody wants to do anything on Monday. Legs is Tuesday or Wednesday. What are we doing? 3-day, 4-day splits? We doing 5x5? Is it maybe we're doing some circuit training, upper body day today? Okay, cool. Awesome. Hey, where do you buy? So I don't know if you guys go to a gym or not. I have a little home gym. Where do you buy those giant mirrors? Like, I want mirrors, and when I look online, I see these like 2 foot by 3 foot mirrors. I'm like, I would need 30 of these to do to do what I want. Like, can't you buy plywood size mirrors somewhere? 6-day split. Oh, that's a lot of days. And the 6-day splits in a week. I take it. We're already off tangent here, but this is important stuff. You can get mirrors custom made, but yeah, but like by who? Do I have to find I guess I have to find a local. Is it a glass company that does mirrors? Okay. DT. Thank you. I said it as I saw your message. Sorry. I got to do that at some point. 6-day split over 12 day. Oh, interesting. Okay, well that makes more sense, I suppose. Buy from an auction of an old gym. Okay, two problems. One, how do you find said auction? And two, how many gyms are going out of business? Like, I don't know. There are 3 by you. The local glass shop. Okay, all right. You guys have convinced me I'm just being lazy. I could have just asked ChatGPT as well, right? You're lifting. Oh, that makes 2 of us. This is my 5th rep, I think, Erex. Oh yeah, that was good. So now we got more people in. Did you see the mug is the classic? Oh, lost his carry forward mug. I cannot get a good. There you go. These stupid webcams. I would turn off the remove background thing, but then you would see my messy room, and I don't want that. Okay, we're gonna get into it because otherwise we're gonna be here all day. Terrible business. What, mirrors? Is this because it's a very self-reflective business? People who start gyms don't realize the only business model that works is the gym they don't want. Oh, got him, man. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I've heard of people who are very successful opening a gym, selling it, opening a gym, selling it, etc. But I guess you got to like that style. Cool being here all day. Oh yeah. Oh, what time did you start work, Alec? Well, if it was 8 hours, I guess you started at 5 a.m. because you're doing 12s, right? Ooh, that's a long day. Yikes. Or is it 12 and a half? 4:30 maybe? You make money off people who don't come. That's true. That's true. 6 a.m. Oh, you must be in a different time zone. That would make more sense. Okay. Oh, you can't math. That's fine. So it was a good week. I think, like, raise of hands. I think you all had a good week, right? I didn't see much negativity in the Discord. Not that there's negativity, but I guess I didn't see much commiserating with people who struggled because generally the market went up. And here's the deal, like the wheel is great, but I don't think anything beats the market in general going up by multiple percentage points in a week. Hey, Saul, good to see it. I love it. Um, there's been a lot of good results for me personally. Some plays that were multiple weeks, and oddly enough, were not positively impacted by the overall market going up. But we'll talk about Lily. We'll talk about that in a bit, though. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm at once again a new NLV high, net liquid value, whatever it's called. Like this number is getting pretty crazy looking to me from where I started. I know it shows a bigger number in January, but like I actually wasn't fully wheeling in January. I committed to fully wheeling these portfolios in March, and it was right when we had the tariff tank. So like this number is actually closer to what I started wheeling with originally in March. It was about the same number as that. January was a great month. Like in general, the markets were on euphoric. It was pre-Trump announcing anything, right? And you could tell things were starting to get a little bit, or were clearly overvalued, but also getting a little like trepidation in the market. Things were slowing down. Momentum was starting to shift ever so slightly. And then it was just like boom. And I was at that point, I was like, yeah, you know what? Sell all my VOO and SPY and just, we're going to wheel. So I think I looked at my account the other day and it was like under 800 when I started. So I'm ecstatic with the progress. Like this is a real number on the right, this thermometer. And I don't want to say that, it's tough. I share this stuff. I know it can obviously come off as bragging and all that, which I guess to some degree it is when it's going well, when it's going well. But like really, I also want people to know this is doable, which I think everybody who's on the Discord knows that by now, right? Like if you've been here for a couple of months, you see every single trade, and we look at every single trade on these streams. And the fact is, it does work. It is insane the level of just profit that everybody is seeing, and everybody that is being successful warms my heart, because you got to keep in mind, like from my perspective, there's some risk in that if for some reason this didn't work, I would feel bad. I personally, I would not be able to do this if I was like, people are losing money following this strategy. But the fact is, it's very hard to screw it up. Like, and again, I think most people here who have been on the Discord also know that by now, that it's really hard to screw up selling options because the risk is predefined. So like, unless you go into a masochistic trade unnecessarily, well, then I'm sorry, that's dumb. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself. Make trades that clearly are profitable at the start, and then just be happy with the profit, whatever happens, right? And when you do that repeatedly, week after week, month after month, it basically only goes up, with the only real risk being the same risk as buying and holding, which is the underlying going down. I think the only other risk that really creeps into this is people chasing volatility and going to like A tier, or I don't know how you say that stupid stock, ATYR. I know, sorry if you lost money on it. A bunch of people lost money on it. But there's definitely risk if you try to get more premium by going after volatility that ultimately is going to bite you, because that is what volatility is. Now, if the sweet spot is finding those stocks that you like and you can cope with their volatility, like Reddit is a great example, because we've all seen it go like this, right? But the long term is up and to the right. That's been my personal conviction. So even holding it on the down parts, while it might be like, oh, this sucks, it was always like, this is temporary. I truly believed it. I mean, I think most people saw that as I doubled down, and I said, I can't believe why everyone's not buying this right now. And here we are, right? All-time highs of what, 283? Insane. But not to talk about the stock price so much, is what was the real risk there? And the real risk was the stock going down. Now, if the stock goes down and our emotions take over and we sell by panic selling, yeah, that is part of that downward risk, that stock dropping risk. But the community has done really well, I think, keeping each other in check. And when you see someone else with a similar position holding and continuing that conviction, showing that, look, there's no real good reason why this stock has dropped, so it should go back to where it was, and then it does, and you see that repeatedly, you can start feeling more comfortable with taking on different levels of risk for different companies that you believe in. And I'm really personally happy to see the progress that I've made personally, but also especially everybody on the server. It's been amazing. And so, long soapbox, and I know chat's been talking a little bit, but it's been a fantastic year despite the drop. Look at where we are, right? And I think pretty much everybody in the Theta Daddies Discord is up significantly this year, up above SPY, new milestones getting hit. I can't wait to see what happens after like 5 years. I'm stuttering because I'm so excited about it. There's so much just positive upside here to just keep going, keep compounding, and really prove this out. We've only been around since April? And here we are in September, just crushing goals. So, okay, enough about this lovey-dovey. I love all this stuff. Let's talk what's going on here. Great week, 40K week, second best week ever, and it was a non-Reddit selling week. I mean, sold options on Reddit, but not like a 50K just free bonus, basically, of selling Reddit stock. So this was a great week. That included a marinating Lily play that finally came to fruition, and I had a 3% weekly return on a higher NLV, so that's like doubly good, of course. And overall, I'm real pleased with what happened. My holdings has dropped pretty dramatically, and I'm almost 50% cash going into next week as a whole bunch of stuff got called away. And it's great. Like, I have zero qualms about stuff getting called away. I think, again, there's this feeling when you're new to selling options that, and this is why it's one of the golden rules of stocks don't only go up and stocks don't only go down. In the moment when the stock is going up and you're not in it, that's what creates FOMO, by the way. It feels like it's never going to stop going up. But then it does, because they can't go up forever. They never do. The question is, how far will they go? And, can you resist the urge to jump in? Like even Reddit, it went up to 285, and I'm like, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Oklo is another one, right? Oklo is at 135 or something, 138. I don't know. It was out of control. Is it going to keep going up forever? Probably not. Maybe for a long time, maybe for a while. Does it make sense? No. Will I buy it? No. Will I short it? Also no, because who knows? But again, they don't only go up. Just find another opportunity. Do you know how many stocks are out there? Well, we know at least 500 in just the S&P 500. So find something else that tickles your fancy, and have a stable of stocks that you can pick and choose from and rotate around as one sector rotates to another, right? That's why we want to diversify. So a lot of good stuff going on. I only have one. I'm missing. Did I not type in my Reddit put? I have two puts. I have the CoreWeave put for next week, and I have a Reddit put for 250. Where's that? All right, we'll type that in. So we've got two cash secured puts going into next week. I'll type that in real quick because I thought it was here. These are not what I was looking at. Okay, so here we go. Type it in real quick. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is 200 at 250 and 575. I think. No, maybe that was Muffin Man's price, and I had like 525. Whatever. I'll double check in a little bit here, but and this is a CSP, so it's not in the money. Here we go. There we go. Back to the dashboard. We should see two. Perfect. Yeah, so we've got two CSPs going into next week. Not heavily deployed, but I do have already lined up with no further work involved, 5K, which, by the way, puts me just about at this double target. 5K more takes me to that magical 500,000 mark year to date, which is insane. Like, I did not make that much a year working my prior job, and I am so glad I got fired. You have no idea. That's life changing right there. But yeah, all right. Let me catch up for a second as I just continue to spew information. What did I miss? Well, I appreciate that, Muffin Man. I appreciate that. David Saunders, welcome. Up nearly 4% this week, 12% this month. Amazing. Dude, those are numbers that, hedge funds would die for. Getting that 1 to 2% a week. Yep. 100% agree with that. Time investment is another thing that we don't talk about enough. Like how much. So again, I'm doing this full time. And by full time, you have to keep in mind I'm trading, but I'm also doing the Discord stuff. So I'm like compelled to maybe overwork my stuff a little bit, which is honestly just sometimes to my detriment. I don't think it always brings additional return for me, but I do it because I like to demonstrate the ways to some capacity. And there's an argument that I shouldn't do that. I should just do what I get it. But I like to show what buy to closing early looks like. I like to show how you can leave a position, get back in. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that's not the best approach. Maybe I need to think about that a bit. But overall, I spend too much time. Like probably 20 hours a week trading. And the fact is, you can do this in less than 4. I don't know, Muffin Man. What's your total hours? Did you put that? Did I miss it? No, you didn't put it. Let me know what your total hours is. Hey, Kevin Ilker. Did I say your name right? I'm sorry if I didn't. No more Clove. No, I have Clove. Is it not in there? I might have taken it off the list because it was immaterial, and I had a bunch of other stuff. You know what? Let me put that back on. It is such a tiny amount. It's let's see. It's 2,000 shares at a $4 cost basis. Bop, bop, bop. And I actually am covered on them somewhere. I didn't put the cover in there either. They're CC'd, by the way, for like June or January. Maybe it's January. Let me put them here. Actually, they're going to be below. They're going to be below caramel because of the caramel. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very small position. At one point, I had more tickers than I have in this box here, and rather than try to resize the whole sheet, I'm like, we don't care about you, Clove. Sorry. I am still holding it, and they've had a good couple of weeks actually. Double target. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Stocks only go up. That's right. The only wheeling play that lost money for you was Sezzle and TTD. Okay, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Here's the thing about Sezzle is it's lost money. It's down on paper, unless you sold, and then yeah, you could have lost money. But like, let's be honest. First off, they had a wild run up. Second, they might go back up, and they're a very volatile stock. And I'm going to do it, but this could very much be something that happens, right? It's not that wide. Maybe it's something like this. I don't know. I'm not gonna call this one for real, but like, you always have to keep in mind that this is a new stock, right? There's not a whole lot of history. It's hard to chart this. This is a good one where maybe it's closer to chasing volatility and premiums than it is a wise investment. That doesn't mean you shouldn't play with new stocks. I do, like full disclosure, I do. I've got CoreWeave, I've got Bull. I'm in a day one pattern IPO, doesn't even have options yet stock. There's things like that you can play with. But it's a risk you take, especially if you play on a spike like this on a new stock. All bets are off. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad about it, by the way, because again, I've played plenty of these. But that's a risk you have to acknowledge when you play a new stock like that. But I hear you. It still doesn't feel good. 5 hours. Okay, 5 hours is a good time commitment to make 1 to 2% a week on your port, I would say. I would love to hear a disagreement on that, by the way. Writing scripts. Yeah, you're really automated. Choke is. When are you going to send me your? Did you send it to me? I don't think you sent it to me. Are we ready to like expand that sheet out so that it does it for more people? I think there's you and Kodu and Gedeon maybe use the automated script thing. That's a good one though. In before cup. Too late. Cup's here. You sold, but already made the money back. Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I have no doubt that that's you'll make it back. 28 minutes before the cup. Yeah, probably a new record. You wrote up instructions for someone to install it. All right, well, send it to me. Or is it? Oh, is it in? It's probably in the Discord already. I know. 2 hours of the bakery, worthwhile time, by the way. If you haven't come seen that, that is a good one. Okay, back to the trades. So let's start going through some of these because I am rampant on the tangents already. I did an Archer buyback. Not a whole lot to talk about here. We sold this last week in the money. It was, I think the stock was at like 9.35, and I sold, no, 8.85 or something maybe, and I sold $9 CSPs. Bought it back the next, like a day later, which was Monday, for over 50%, and that was fine. I thought I was going to resell these, and then I didn't. And I should have. I actually thought about selling 950s. Obviously, it would have worked out great, but I chickened out on Archer. But I think I own 3,000 shares here. Tried to get 6K total. That was a double position play, and then I've got covered for next week already at a paltry 13 cents. I don't think this is going to hit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think it's more likely that we break 10 and retrace a little bit before we get to 11. But small caps can move. And this is a great example of, I arguably should have just played the CSP side versus covering these shares. But again, if I end up selling at 11, I'm fine with that. It's totally cool. It's profit. After that, we had a bunch of CoreWeave plays. In total, CoreWeave brought in, actually not as much as I thought, 2,000. I didn't have that many contracts, so that's part of it. And we have CoreWeave lined up for next week as well with a better price on the contracts, which is kind of cool. I like, it's interesting where if you keep track of your contract price, you sell the same exact option the next week for more premium. That feels good, especially considering the fact that the price was higher on CoreWeave when I sold this most recent option. And yeah, it was good. Well, look at that. There's another short chart. When we broke out of that channel, by the way, we're on the weekly. I don't want to be on the weekly. Here's the daily. I messed that up. We broke out of this channel, and I think we're bullish. I think we're bullish here, crossing over a bunch of EMAs, SMAs. That's always a good sign. But let's take a quick look at this volatility here. And you can see, yeah, we've gone back up over 100 in the last week or so. So I sold options the prior week at 80% IV, and now we're at 107% IV. So I get a better price on the same exact option, which is good, important to know, right? Like, you need to know what's driving your option price. It's IV. It's always IV, along with delta. I mean, delta, yeah, and also time, theta. But the IV is a huge component of what your premium is ultimately going to end up being. So this is cool because we sold the first one for 278, 120, and then sold this one for 315. When we were further away from the strike, we got a better price. That's amazing. So I'm pretty happy. I added a contract too this time. I went from 5 to 6. So a little bit stronger position, and I'm still pretty confident that I might double that position. If we end up dropping next week, I'm probably doubling up. In fact, I might just straight buy shares and hold them for a bit uncovered and possibly do a CC later in the week. So it's been a great company to also swing trade a little bit. I got wind of CWVX, CoreWeave X, the 2X, and just a couple of swing trades came out with $800. It was these were both single day trades. In fact, the first one was a mistake. I tried to, I don't think I could find it, but basically I was on the intraday and was looking at I can see if I can find it real quick. If we go to the 3 minute chart there. Did I draw it? I swear I drew it at one point. I thought there was a cup opportunity. Is this the day of the week? It is, right? So it was Friday. I think it would have been here, Tuesday. Tuesday was the 16th. Yeah, so I think it was Tuesday. And this, like right here, I'm like, oh, this is a cup. I'm going to do a, what was it? Here, I'll draw it out. It was something like this. And this might be not the right time exactly, but I was like, oh, I'm going to try this intraday cup thing. And then, what's supposed to happen here is this arrow, boom. Didn't really happen, but then it did kind of happen later. So I'm like, all right, this didn't work, but I'm going to sell it. And I walked away with $150. I'm like, yeah, this was a mistake. If I can get out in the green, we're not going to complain. We're going to take the win and pretend it wasn't actually an L, even though it was. What happened here? Oh my goodness. What did I do? Okay. Yeah, I totally screwed up that chart. But yeah, it was a good learning though, because I know cups can work on the intraday, and I do dabble because I spent so much time looking at this stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's experiment. I think it's important to experiment. It's you continue to burn your hand on the stove, gain that knowledge, that tuition that really can only be paid in blood by having touched the hot stove. I guess you don't bleed when you burn your hand, but you know what I mean. The analogy mostly works. And it didn't work. It didn't work in this case. And that's not to say that like it couldn't work. Charting is not guaranteed anyway, but it was something I wanted to try. Now, I do want to say that another thing that's worth pointing out, and I've seen this on a bunch of charts recently, was we did have a double bottom here, like very close where we're spiking off. And this is one that is also happening on TTD. If you zoom out a little bit, we have the same exact points, like to the dollar, to the cent, I think, being touched here. And I have TTD leaps that I bought like up here, and I'm like, you know what? They don't expire for a year still, not quite a year, but I'm gonna give it some time to see if we recover before I eventually hop out of those. But yeah, the double bottom is definitely a thing, and in fact, TTD goes all the way back years. It keeps touching this point, or right, roundabout here, especially if maybe the weekly is better for this far out. But you can see we've got a history of bouncing here. And, fundamentally, is the business broken? I don't think so. There's a lot of uncertainty with the business, and that's kind of the nature of advertising in general, right? Where this could be a double bottom, like I was just saying, and we could see some upside. So will we get there? No guarantees. We could trade sideways or down, or who knows. We can find new lows, I'm sure. But a lot of support there makes me a little bit more confident about holding those leaps for a bit longer. All right, let me catch up. I keep going again. Archer Cycles. Yeah, it is a good wheel stock. It's been fantastic. The Archer, let's look at Archer. Archer, like on the annual, it tends to be in these channels that last for months, and it just bounces, kind of like Bull does a little bit too. And Bull's newer, but the weekly is not very helpful on Bull. That makes the channel very clear. Oh wow, we're like wedging on not quite. Maybe if I really imagine this hard, we're wedging for the weekly. But if we go to the daily, Bull is another one that's bouncing off of this bottom, double bottom again. This is another one that I was looking at this week where I'm like, okay, are we making the turn here? This was a question yesterday, well, 2 days ago. And the big green bar here was nice to see because the EMA is starting to maybe make a turn back up. So Bull is one where I'm holding uncovered because I think there's room to run. Now, I will cover it should we get back into the 14-15 range. And in the meantime, I'm collecting loan money for Bull as I loan out the stock. And you might question, why would you loan out the stock? Because you're supplying shorts. But like, again, long term, who cares? If you're going to hold the stock, eventually that'll recover. And that's information. As that number drops, the short interest is obviously dropping because there's less borrowed shares. So we can use that information and get paid for it if we have a little patience. Now, if you're like a day trader or something, or I don't know, you're in a rush to see your stock moon, yeah, I get it. You don't want shorts to be winning. But are they winning? Long term, stocks go up and to the right. I think it's fine, and I think you might as well get paid while you've got the opportunity. So, and for the information. How else do you see that information? I don't know. I think it's great. What do we got? You think it's bullish? Yeah, I agree. If you're happy at a price, let it ride. That's true. That's true. If there's a 2x, I find it. Yeah. I do like my 2x's. TTDU, by the way. That's a good one. Take a look at the option chain for different dates on what? Oh, you were talking to somebody else. My bad. From stock to stock, delta zero point 0.5 is usually at the money, but the IV factor is different for the same delta and same theta between two stocks. Well, yeah, every stock has a different IV. So I think so. Delta and theta are like constants, but IV is what changes. That's the difference. Anyway, okay, back to we're like two trades in as usual. Continue to get distracted. CoreWeave. I've been enjoying CoreWeave. I do want to say that. I'm going to go back to CoreWeave real quick. I didn't finish my thought there. I think it's bullish. I am happy selling CSPs here. I'm not sure there's going to be a channel. We might now do what we did with Lily and boom, go that direction, which would be fantastic. I would love that. I'm sure most of you would love that. Or it's a wedge. I guess, there's another argument that this is the direction we're going. We'll see. This is too fresh. We need a little time to build that out. But I like what I'm seeing here in terms of trajectory, recent trajectory on a stock that Showcase for sure is selling me on, along with NBIZ, right? Which I don't have on my watch list. Why do I not have NBIZ on my watch? I thought I put it on. Another one, like these are in the same vein that, look at that chart. That is a beautiful spread, super bullish. I might need to get back into NBIZ, which I've only been in once or twice, I think. So yeah, CoreWeave, I've been enjoying. I'm going to continue to enjoy it, just like Reddit. Reddit, I don't have a whole lot to talk about on Reddit other than, this is just a moneymaker. Continues to 5K on selling options, CSPs. I know I pissed off Showcase. Sorry, Showcase, just for Showcase. I bought back an option, resold that same option, bought it back again. Well, okay, here's a good one. Instead of making $13.50 by buying it back and selling it back, I made $1,700. Was that worth it? I mean, for me, it was. It was extra, $350. I guess I'll take that. But like effort-wise, was it really? I don't know. Hard not to do it though when I see it. That's part of the problem. And then I sold a bunch of CCs, which I feel like people probably questioned a little bit because this was way in the money at one point, as was the 280. The 280 I sold when we were at like 282. And a good question you could ask is like, well, why didn't you just sell the stock then? And the answer is because I thought I would make more. I didn't think it would run any higher, and I would make more holding the stock long term, continuing to sell options on it versus trying to get back in. And it worked out quite well, where we peaked at, again, like 283, and then now we're back at, we dropped all the way down to 250, by the way, which I'm a little upset about because I missed my 2x. I was so busy like closing out other options. I need to start setting alerts for my 2xers. I wrote in my chat that $72 is where you buy RDTL, and where did we go? But $72. Actually, I think we went down to 70. Yeah, 71, right? And then we closed at 78. which is the top end of where you sell. Like I would have sold maybe at 77 or I don't know, whatever. I definitely missed probably $3,000 there. I don't know if I would have taken I'm not sure I would have taken 1,000 share position. So maybe 500 shares. But like this is what I like to swing trade with Reddit. And you can see from 70 to 80, from 71 to 82. Now, I will say this one was, we started at 82, we dropped to 70, and then we finished at 78. So like, you gotta, that's why the real range here is only 72 to 78, let's say. But so many opportunities with these giant wicks on Reddit all the time. All the time we've got giant wicks on Reddit. And the same is true for CoreWeave and CoreWeave X, right? Like if we look at CoreWeave, CWVX, we've got a similar thing going on here where 13 to 17, what is that percentage? So 4 over 13, like 30%. There's a lot. What did I draw here? Oh, that's where I did my cup and handle. Can I delete this? There we go. This is like these wicks, even these small ones, 15 to 16, 1650. 15 to 16 is a great swing. You just buy 100 or 1,000 shares to keep the math simple, and then you multiply that by however many dollars the stock goes up, and that's how much you make. I love it. I love it. So yeah. Anyway, I am a fan of swing trading the 2Xers. I've been thinking about it for TTD, but it's not. There's not been enough really to go off of here yet. Although the wicks are and actually that's not that volatile yet, so I probably won't. TTD doesn't move as much as Reddit and CoreWeave, or HIMS. HIMS is another one you could do with HIMS. Look at the size of these candles, by the way. That cup again. This cup. I know I drew this cup. I was late on my arrow. I thought I had more time, but that is definitely a cup and handle thing happening there, which I didn't play. I should have. I gotta follow my own TA more frequently. So yeah, Reddit was a good trade. Happy with that. I think a bunch of you all made money on it, and I was happy to see it. Did you, Muffin? Did you jump in on Reddit and Showcase? You both did, right? I think you both did it this week. You goaded me into CoreWeave at 100, dude. I was all about CoreWeave from 90 to 100. Oh, you're right. I think you did the first time at 100. And then I wish I doubled down on 90s. I doubled down on 95. Or was it 92.50? No, it was 95. That paid great. I really wish I tripled down on 90s when we were down there. TA to cupping season. No, cupping session. I have cups at home. You guys ever do those cups on your back, the suction cups? Amazing. I love it. My wife hates doing it though. I'm like, hey, it's cup time. Can you? And she begrudgingly does it every time. But I'm like, okay, 10-minute timer. Please make sure you take them off because I can't really get them off myself. And if she like left the house, I'd be screwed. They'd be walking around with these cups on me all day. Master strategy, MicroStrategy, whatever. Didn't do that well on strategy here. It was fine. They all made money. I have a 375 cost. Cost basis is actually what, like 365 now with continually selling options. I screwed the pooch on this one. I bailed on 340 CSPs. I don't know. I panic sold, I think, is the only way. It happens to the best of us. I'm not saying I'm the best, but I think it happens to everybody where sometimes it doesn't feel right. I did this with CoreWeave actually like months ago too. But every once in a while, I'm like, Master looked like it was on a strong uptrend, and then it just fizzled. Strategy. I call it Master. And it fizzled here, and I bailed. We were up at 340. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell at the money CSPs. And then we closed at like 329. And then the next day, we were in this 340 range, and I bought it back for like 8% profit. I'm like, I don't know. If I had held though, I could have bought it back for probably 75%, if not just full expiration. Let it ride. It would have paid off fully. But and and I know this is tough. You, I don't like drawing cups on things that are not the true underlying, which strategy is, right? It's the base equity. However, their base is obviously based off of Bitcoin, etc. So, you know, it doesn't follow Bitcoin perfectly, but Bitcoin would probably be the better thing to be basing some of these types of decisions on, right? And actually, Bitcoin made a cup earlier and handle-ish thing happening here. I'm not going to draw it because I don't really follow Bitcoin otherwise. Um, yeah, maybe that's a cup and handle. We'll see. We'll see what shakes out here. But you know, the master, the strategy, whatever ticker is not that similar anymore. It's not following Bitcoin, or maybe it's lagging. I don't know. I don't know. There's the whole MNAV whatever thing that I couldn't even explain if I wanted to. Some sort of multiple of the Bitcoin value that I don't see lining up with Bitcoin as closely as I think it should. It doesn't feel like it's that aligned anymore. Why do I have to keep moving this chart? That's annoying. So anyway, I got out of it. I'm still in it. I'm still holding it. In fact, I bought back my CCs yesterday for on this drop down to like 337 for over 50%. So that was good because I do think we're going to do something like this. Now, will we go back up to 400? I don't know. In fact, I'll probably continue to cover at 375. But I'm going to give this a few days before I recover it, is basically what it comes down to. Although, I didn't cover it already, did I? I don't think so. No. So, yeah, that's another opportunity for next week. Overall, fine trade. Nothing to complain about here other than this could have been, instead of, you know, $400, it could have been $1,500. So little miss there, but it's going to happen, right? You're not going to get them all. And then we had a nice little coin swing trade. This was based off Cantonese Cat. He was very bullish. I was borrowing some of his conviction, as I do from time to time. And if we bring up the coin chart, you know, we were down here. And I bought some Connell, 1,000 shares of it, whatever. And it was at 36. I guess I should bring up Connell. It was at 36 when I bought it, so somewhere in this range. And we closed at one point. We didn't close. We hit 40, but I sold at 39. Now I had very specific thoughts here. You know, normally you don't touch or focus on touching the fib on the 2x or the SMAs. They don't necessarily line up perfectly with coin, as you can see here. See how we went above the SMA and above the fib? And yet this is interesting. I did not know this. I'm seeing this now, that somehow we tested off the 2x fib and SMA damn near perfectly twice. Look at that. That's interesting. Now, the reason that's interesting is the market makers looking at the 2x and playing the 2x more so than the underlying? Are they trying to drive the underlying to maximize profit on the 2x? Maybe. I'm going to start paying attention to that some more. That could be an edge that we need to consider for these 2x's, because it lines up better on the 2x than it does with the underlying. Anyway, my play was based off the underlying, and I figured we're going to test the fib and or the SMA. So I extrapolated a little bit and said, well, for Connell, which I need to stop having to type this in and just add the stupid ticker. Here we go. It's not stupid. It's a good ticker. It made me money. How could I call it stupid? That's very insensitive of me. So if we look at it next to coin, you know, I sold at 39, which worked out great, by the way, because that's basically where we've been since there, thinking that this would be the point on the coin chart. Stop moving. that would be the fib. Instead, we did end up touching the fib on Con-L. And damn it, I did it twice. And next time, I'm gonna reconsider my sell point. I could have got away with 40, if not 41. Ooh, that would have been an extra $2,000 that was on the table. So, TA does not mean anything, but it shows history that we can utilize as common patterns. And they can be a way to set your target entries and exits. And you can see how the math worked in my head. It worked out, and it would have worked out in this case to use the Con-L chart, is essentially what I'm trying to get to here. And what I will consider in future 2x ETF trades is maybe I need to put more weight on the 2x. Maybe that's what market makers are actually trying to manipulate versus the underlying. Now, they manipulate the underlying in order to hit the fibs, etc., on the 2x. That's fascinating. I'm going to need to think about that some more. We'll keep an eye on that, but huge if true, for sure. Back to the trade itself, was very happy with it. Made $3,000 on it. Only played it the one time. Didn't get back in. Didn't get out. Or got out. Didn't get back in. And yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. You got into Reddit. I knew it. Wait. Oh man, what'd you use the cash for? Did you use it to buy more NBIS? Hey, Cheese, good to see you. Getting involved in SoFi. Yeah, SoFi, you know what's funny? I had SoFi at 7, and it was the most boring stock. I watched it for like 6 months at 7, and I'm like, screw this. I'm out. I didn't believe in it that much. Could have held it. Could have been somebody. Could have 3x'd, 4x'd, right? What is it at? 28? What did we hit there? Let me look. I haven't looked at SoFi in a long time. I had it last year. Wow. What are we at? Holy cow. 29. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I had it back here. This is where I was playing it. 7. Ugh. But look how boring it was. For how long? This is like a year of boringness. And at that point, I'm just like, all right, nobody cares about this crap. I'm out. Yeah, apparently should have held. Let's be honest, I would have sold at 2x. I never would have held it here. But especially because I didn't believe in it that much to begin with. And I would have been happy because then I would have been like, look, we're back at 8. Maybe I don't know. If we drop again, maybe I'll consider it. I'm not touching it here, though, for sure. If you're having luck with it, cool. Keep going. Do your thing, man. Let us know how it goes. Super bullish chart, though. Like, look at that stack. Oh, mwah. That is a beautiful stack of rainbow lines. Tao would love that, I would say. I need a better track. Come on, dude. My tracker's amazing. What are you talking about? I'm still on the cupping sessions here. Lord Mar, good to see you. William Posner. I did blow it. You're right. 60K into NEM options. Dude, okay. So I got in NEM. Well, we're going to talk about that. Should I jump to NEM? We're done on Con-L. Where's NEM? NEM's all the way down here. Let's talk. We'll move NEM up. We'll talk about NEM next since you brought it up. Come on. There we go. NEM was just a $250 CC. I was hoping the shares were going to get called away. I bought them at 80. I sold the CC at 82. Did we hit 82? I feel like we hit 82. It was damn close. Yeah, we hit 82. Barely. And we finished just out of the money. I was like, oh, no. But now I'm in a good spot for selling CCs on Monday because I will most definitely re-CC it. I'll probably CC it at... What do you think, Showcase? What's your target? I'm thinking 85, which is below this fib. So like maybe we test up here. Rumors Trump Z meeting will lead to dual nation Fartcoin reserve. Oh my goodness. This is big news, man. Big news. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a crypto bro, unfortunately, for anyone interested in that. But dude, another beautiful bullish chart for NEM. Look at that. That stack is fantastic. So there's an interesting thing about bullish charts. I think there's got to be, let's turn off autofib for a second. I think there's got to be some sort of like ideal ratio between the SMAs and EMAs that indicate like the most bullishness that a chart can be. I don't think spreading further is better, while it is obviously in the immediate term, the short term, but like there's got to be a stability factor of a nice stack, not too far spread, that like this chart I believe would be a good candidate for. The ratio is somewhat tight, but not too tight, that we've got a lot of run left in it to continue on this trajectory, right? Now I know it's been moving up at a faster and faster rate. It's going kind of parabolic. I was wondering, is there a giant cup here there is a giant cup. Oh my God. Oh no, we're going to draw it. We got to see what this cup looks like. We're almost there, Showcase. It's going to be like another couple of days and we get this pretty clean. Yeah, I mean that could be a little cuppish for sure. Are we gonna have a handle coming up soon? It would be a fairly long handle based on, I'm terrible at drawing the handles. They typically both go down as we consolidate here, and then you know what comes next. Boing, the God Arrow. Will it be a thing? I don't know. But that is a mega cup if I've ever seen one. Let's look at the weekly on it. Most definitely could be a thing. Let's keep an eye on it. We're going to keep playing it. 84, 85 target trend a week. Okay. So are you looking to get that is a God Arrow. Are you looking to get assigned? I think I'm going to go, maybe I'll go 84. That would be a good likely assignment in my mind. And 85 is too close to the top of the cup. So I'm going to say 84. I'll probably do 84 on Monday. Likely sell 84 CCs. So yeah, NEM is kind of fun. I'm stealing conviction from Showcase on this. That's why it's a Showcase play. Didn't make a ton of money, but at the same time, it's up $1,000 in appreciation for the stock. So, I feel good about it still. All right, we'll talk Lily. Lily, this play is the one that's been marinating. This one ended up with a almost 25K result, which, it took a month. And if you do the math here, we tied up, me, 50,000 plus 66,800, so 116,800. And we made 24,269 divided by 116,800. So 20% times 12 is a 250% return. I'm pretty happy with that play, and it worked out well. Now, there's definitely, I do want to bring up the chart, because Lily is interesting in that this chart was stupid, by the way, and yet was somehow holding for way too long. Let's go to the daily. Oh, daily. And my line was a joke, kind of arbitrary, I know, but it was holding up. And it even held up to my blue mean line. Whatever. It was like a made-up blue line, by the way, of this reversion to the mean. So we got there. We touched it. We crossed over. We tapped it the one day, which is insane. Like, how does this happen where we live in a simulation, clearly? Because why would the stock hit the line that I drew, then went past it, but dropped back down, then tested it again? This was scary to me. These are inverted hammers, which could mean that we were going to see downside. Like we were going to all of a sudden course correct a little bit, revert to a mean down here somewhere, probably test some of these SMAs, and we lost momentum. So I held on to the Lily X shares through this. And the Lily X hit, I think, 1460 or something, 1450. And I it would have been great to sell it at 1450 for another $2,500 or whatever. But I was still thinking that we closed right around the line, and I was like, we might continue up. But this hammer right here, inverted hammer, convinced me that nope, I'm selling. So I sold at open. I sold at 1401, which was here, and I'm glad I did. We dropped all the way down to 1350, which almost tested the 34 EMA. It's probably touched some other EMA or maybe a fib. Let me bring up the fibs. Yeah, almost a fib. And I was like, yep, you know what? I'm out. I'm out for now. I believe in Lily long term, but this will be a swing trade essentially of if we end up testing back down here in the 12s, I'm back in. 100% I will buy more Lily X at 1250 if we were to drop to that. Instead, you know, we could continue up here slowly or sideways trade until we get to the next earnings, which is out a ways. We've got, I think it's in November. When was the last earnings? Oh, sorry, wrong chart. November. Yeah, just about November, we have our next earnings. I will probably get back in here, like right around here, for what I would imagine is another run up. They've got a lot of stuff in the works that's not just weight loss drugs and like big things that I think are worth for me gambling on a little bit to get back to this channel here, this mega channel that we like to live in prior to this drop. So really pleased with how this play worked out. It basically followed my charting to a T, and the fact that it didn't cross this line is fine. I was hoping it would cross this line, but dude, that is a rally. We went from 623 to 771 straight, more or less straight. That's like, okay, it's okay to take a breath after I don't even know what percent gain that is. Let's do the math. Let's just call it 775 minus 625. I could have done that math probably, divided by 625. 25% gain. That is a run. For a company the size of Lily, by the way. That is a run. So yeah, fine to take a breather. We'll find the new entry. I'll find the new entry to get in, and then we'll go again. That's how we roll. So great play here. Really happy with the payoff. Caramel, I'm not going to really talk about. Bought those back. We had some other stuff actually expire. I'm missing the expiration of 750C. Shoot. All right. Well, hey, I guess I made a little bit more money that it's not even in here. There was a expiration of this for 750 that didn't hit. I don't think it paid that much, but I do think it was over $1. Maybe I'll fix this later. You guys don't care. It's just for me. So yeah, there's another $1,000 in there somewhere. We'll skip that though, because this is really memey, and I'll get out of this the moment I can. Actually, I might just sell the shares. They're already above my cost basis, which is 660. So I'll probably just sell the shares next week and be done with it. But it worked out well. I don't believe or care about this stock at all. This is Critical Metals, I think. So there's a measure tool on TV. What do you mean measure tool? Oh, percent gain? I don't know this stuff, man. You kidding me? Is it this? Let's see. This is fibs. This is a magnet. Oh, here's a ruler. Measure. Boom. Boom. Yeah, look at that. I guess that would have done it. 24%. Well, whatever. We learned something new. Yeah, but the calculator's more fun, isn't it? Dude, TradingView. I need to become a salesman for TradingView. This is just such an incredible tool. If you don't have it, you should have it. It's at least the free version. It is. I pay for it now. I had the free version originally. I've been paying for it for a couple months, and it is mind-blowing how much depth there is. And it's like everything's in one place. That's the beauty of it. You got the heat map. You got the economic calendar. And then you can go to volatility on individual stocks. You can look at the option chain, like all this stuff. I didn't even know this until yesterday when Average Advisor was sharing that. It's amazing. And I love to draw in it. I'm a doodler, if you can't tell. I draw cups. Look at the cup on, what is this? It's a cup here somewhere. All right, let's go back to HIMS. This was a long play, and shares got called away at cost basis. How do I feel about this? Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Made 1% on it. This might have been a 2-week CC. Maybe it was a 0.5% I made on it. But this freed up a ton of cash. This is part of why I've got a lot of big cash position for next week. And I'll continue to play with HIMS, but not till we drop back to like 50-ish, 52. That's I guess I could bring that up real quick. 52 is a prior channel that I like to play in. My kids are screaming. Sorry, you probably hear that. But yeah, basically from 50 to 60 is a consistent place that we sit in on HIMS. And as we drop back to closer to 50, I'll dabble. I'll continue to dabble here. There's also HIMZ, which maybe I will start dabbling on swing trading a little bit because that's something I enjoy doing. But I have not swing traded HIMS, which is silly. I should, because it's as volatile. It's more volatile than Reddit, I think. You wish TV had a real-time price like Robinhood does in after hours. It does. You can change it to what did I just do? I double-clicked something and ruined it. Oh no! I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Here it is. No. There's a way to do after hours on TradingView, and I thought it was down here. Maybe I can only do that when we're during the night, the trading night during the week. But there is a way to show it, and it's also up here as well somewhere. Extended hours, right? So, do I need to move this out? No. I don't know. There's a couple of ways to do it in TradingView, unless you're talking about something else. Bottom right, RTH. I thought it was here though, right? Like, am I missing? Am I blind? I'm probably blind. I'm sorry. Somewhere out there. So yeah, it's a good tool, man. I love it, and I could sell this all day. Then we've got Bull. We had one CSP that expired out of the money. That was an easy one at 1250. I mean, I would have taken 3,000 shares at anything under 1250 for sure, especially with a 1228 cost basis. Are you kidding me? That was an easy one. Rocket Lab got a sign. Should get a sign. I got to double check that. Couldn't figure it out on mobile. Yeah, I don't know. Robinhood is good. It feels so much more alive than anything else. I don't know why. It is good on mobile. Rocket Lab, I'm happy to get shares at 48. These will be great at the money CCs on Monday. If not, if we've got a little run up on Monday, even better, right? Like, let's bring up that chart here. I skipped Bull, but we looked at Bull earlier. Oh, well, I clicked that channel. Yeah, we've been in this channel for Rocket Lab. So, I wanted to be closer to 46 that I got into, that I wanted instead of the 48, but 48 was just so juicy. I was like, yeah, let's take it. We'll go a little bit aggressive here. And I think, there's probably some stuff I could draw here. I don't know. Their charts all over the place. But overall, it's bullish, I think. We've got a decent stack of EMAs over SMAs. And overall, Rocket Lab's got that interest, that Mimi interest that gives you those nice premiums. So I'd call this generally bullish. Now, will we end up back in these fibs? I don't know. Maybe. I could see us ending up somewhere, up here in the next couple of weeks. Could be. As we wedge and break out of this kind of wedge that we're forming here a little bit. Hard to say. The indicators say that maybe we're going to drop down a little bit. So I'll probably based on this information, try to get some at the money CCs, but we might be flipping. I probably need to get MACD back up in this place at some point. I do like the squeeze mom indicator though. I could put MACD on it actually, right? Let's see. What do I want? Let's do this one. No, that's not what I want. Is it this one? No, it's not what I want either. Maybe it's just this one. Maybe it's this one. That's the one. All right, so now I got to delete a bunch. I put on so many things. We'll delete you. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to clean this up later. Where's all my indicators? Are there more here? Delete you. Delete you. I'll fix this later. But I do think, there's definitely some hopium here to get us to a couple fibs above where we are right now, just based on its regular movement. Does Rocket Lab have a 2x? I don't know. We could look that up, I guess. Rocket Lab. I don't see any 2x's. Oh, there is a 2x. What the hell? It's 86. I don't like that. I don't like 2x's that cost more than the stock. Then just buy the stock. And I know it doesn't matter, right? Like, obviously, 2x is 2x, but I find that a little comical. Bull is the same way, by the way, with Bull G, or whatever it is. Bulge. Why is it so high? I guess it was too close to the original price, and then it went up so much that, yeah, that's just how it works. Yeah, maybe I'll mess with this a little bit. Look at these peaks. You go from 65. Well, let's bring it up in TradingView. What was it? RKLX. So we have some candles that go. Oh my goodness, yeah, 100 to 7. Ooh, yeah, these are some juicy candles. I might have to mess with it. We'll see. We'll see. If we got to drop back down to this bottom fib, I'm in. I'm in. And look, we are touching the fibs on the 2x again. Haha. All right, let's, Muffin Man, you in? You want to look at this one with me next week? I think it's a good one. Why do we have so many Studio Ghibli lovers in this group? Because it's amazing, obviously. In the Discord chat for the YouTubers that haven't seen it. Yeah, I've been watching it with my kids, actually. We're just going down the list of, like, the top Studio Ghibli movies. Next up is Kiki's Delivery Service or something. I think the favorite so far for the group has been Howl's Moving Castle. And Ponyo was surprisingly enjoyable for how rated G that movie is. It was fun. That was a cool one. With a little tear in the eye at the end, All right, almost done here. Let's wrap up. We're over an hour already. Holy cow. We've got GME finally called away. I still have 300 shares uncovered, but another $600. GME's been good. I added this little tool at the top here for how much I've made on different stocks. I mean, this just continues to pay. Continually pays over every month. It pays like $500, and it's been a good one to run for me. So, gone at 26, covered at 25 for 70 cents a share. That was a good one. Happy with that. Freed up again another 30K. Google just escapes my grasp. Every single no, Gemini. No, stop recording me. Shush. $4 for in the money Google CSPs was nice. I thought this one would hit for sure. I sold it at 248 because the premiums on Google are not that great, surprisingly, for how volatile it seems to me. But the IV is kind of garbage. So the options are not that great. But in the money CSPs is a way to capture premium for stocks that you're bullish on but don't have great IV. So when it was at 247 or 248, sold it for $4 or $400, whatever. And then we finished at 254. So, I'm happy with that. That's fine. Made another $700, over 1%, right? So not quite 2%, but not terrible. 4 divided by 250 is 1.6%. That's fine. So good play. Will I do it again next week? 250 was where I said I was going to stop. Maybe I'll do it one more week and try for 255. And then once Google's past there, that's in my range of like, okay, I'm not sure that's where I want to play any further. We just broke into a new fib, which arguably means that it's got a potential run up to 278. Okay, but look at this recent run. Like, I don't know. This seems. In fact, I may even wait on Google next week to sell anything because we're just so far and away. Look at this run. The run has gone since last earnings at 147, which by the way, I owned some down here and I've been wheeling it all the way up. Lost it here at like 200. I think I lost it over here on one of these green bars. And then boom, I kept some shares. So I actually got to enjoy this on like 70 shares or whatever, which isn't a huge position, but hey, I'll take it. And to think that we're going to continue going at this rate, at this angle, seems unlikely. I do think we're going to lose momentum. Both, look at the RSIs. The 2S RSI period and the 14 are both way, way overbought. So you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I may hang tight on Google, see if we have a little retracement here. The angle of all these lines is scary. Yes, still bullish for sure, but I think I might get caught with my pants down here if I'm not careful selling CCs at 255 or CSPs at 255. It's a little yikes for me. So I'll keep my other shares that I have currently and just let them ride, but I do think I'll start messing around with maybe something else in the account that I've been doing full port Google CSPs. Overall, can't complain. Happy with that trade. And then ASTS got called away, or should. I haven't verified that it's been called away. I should look at that later today, actually. But 45C closed at 45.10. Cost basis 44.50. 1,200 shares. Yeah, good payoff for that. Where is the premium for that? Am I missing that too? What the hell is wrong with me? I gotta look to see where. Okay, I'm missing the premium for ASTS. Another like $1,000 missing, apparently. Damn it. Maybe I'm blind and I'm just missing it here. Okay, well, anyway, that made more than $600. I think it was a $1,200 trade total. So I'll add that line in and see if I missed it after the call. I don't usually miss stuff like that. That's disappointing. This was not shares. This was something like 0.65 or something. I'll double check that. This is CC. Something like that. I cannot type. Double check that later. And that was it. It was a great week. I've got, like I said, a couple things lined up for next week. I've got a infinite roll going on Reddit for taxable to not get called away when we kept jumping over up to 280. And now I've got 315C for October, which dude, if we hit 315, I don't know. I might just let it go at that point, take the tax hit. Or I might try to roll it into January one last time and take the tax hit next year. That's probably the better play. It is long-term capital gains at this point, so whatever. But yeah, this was good. What do we got? Let me catch up on chat because I've been jabbering away, yapping. I drank all my coffee already. Damn it, I'm out of that. I don't think After Hours isn't daily for TradingView. Yeah, I don't know. Google is hilarious, dude. I cannot believe it won't let me buy it, but it's fine. Should look at that ASML chart. Let me bring that up. ASML. Is there an ASMR chart? No, that would have been hilarious. Wow. Oh yeah, we drew the cup on this. That cup is like happening sort of, but what the hell, dude? This is ridiculous. Let me look at the weekly. That is an insane bar. Okay, are you holding it? What are you doing with this? CCs? What do you got going on here? We have to fix the cup? Maybe it's like this now. There we go. There's still upside left here too, if it's indeed a cup. Look at that upturn on the EMAs. That's cool. Yeah, let me know, Aggleton, what ASMG. Wait, what? Did I look at the wrong chart? Oh, it's a 2x. Oh, wow. Yeah, someone got paid here, huh? Oh, I'm on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. You are crazy if you got in here, huh? 2x in a couple of weeks. Not bad, not bad. What'd you get in at? Are you in it, or are you just like telling me to look at the chart because it's wild? It is wild for sure. And we are in the sky fib-wise. I don't know. Like, this is not, personally, this is not something I would touch just because of that ridiculous run-up, and I don't know enough about the stock. But I will take a look at it. It seems exciting. The wicks are small. I'm surprised the swing by day is not particularly wild on really most of these bars. So it's not super volatile by day, but there's some stuff. CMG, Chipotle. We've been talking about Chipotle. This has been Average Advisor's play. Chipotle is at like a 5-year low. I think we were looking at not 5-year, 3-year, 2-year. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm going crazy. We got this mega channel here that I don't like. Not quite channel. Nah. Arguable that this is a channel. Nah, it's not. I don't know. Maybe. But I know he was saying that all the turn on the indicators here look bullish to him. I don't disagree. We're starting to see the curl up of the 8 EMA, and although it kind of yesterday decided to head back down, it looked like we were curling up. Could be a good place for leaps for sure. I'm not playing it. I don't generally mess with retail too much, although I did just sell a bunch of, or buy a bunch of Target leaps, or the food industry. I tend to stay away from those. And the fact is, like right now, we've got lower highs and lower lows going on. So like, yeah, maybe we're turning, but I'm not a huge fan personally as I look at this. I'm like, it's still kind of bearish to me. Could this go up? Yes. If this was a green bar, I'd feel a whole lot better about it. But we're just not there yet. Will you get lucky if you buy leaps here? Maybe. But it's kind of like I wouldn't even advise people follow me on the Target leaps because I bought them, I don't know, somewhere over here. It was at 80, 88 and change. And I was just going off of, are we going to bounce here and turn bullish again as a long time support? The answer is maybe, right? We don't know. But you got to go all the way back to like 2020 to find where we are on Target right now. So could be a good play. I could end up looking like an idiot here. I'm not that great at leaps, to be honest. It's not my, like, I'm really good at swing trades and cups. Leaps I'm still learning personally, but like very bearish right now. And I'm in early hoping that this is a turnaround for a bottom, a common bottom, double bottom. Might be wrong though. 60 shares ASML at 711 basis, sold at 900. Nice, dude. Good play. Good play. I don't know anything about what they do though. Is the problem with them for me. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm in. But I'm not going to do that right now. Let's see. Let me catch up on the Discord chat for a second here. Never seen Howls in English. It is good in English. I have not talked to a Japanese person about the movie. I'm curious though. I used to spend time learning Nihongo. Nihongo hanasemasu. What does rush mean? What are we talking? Oh, you're talking about something else. Okay, caught up on Discord. Let's see if there's anything else on YouTube chat. Guys, got anything else you want to look at? Good seeing you, Avilio. Thanks for joining in. Alec, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Only what? 5 more hours to go for you now? Hopefully hopefully it goes by quick. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for me. I think I talked through pretty much everything that we got going on. There are some leaps out there that, I don't know, not really too worth talking about. They're just simmering in the background. Positive, positive, negative, negative. I'm 50-50 on my leaps. Missing my target leaps. Damn it. I'm missing. How do I keep missing entering stuff? It was that there were too many trades this week. That is a legitimate. I think I bought 5 of these. And the target was 90? No, 80. No, 85. I'll fix this later too. I forget. I know I paid 11.80 for them. And they are in January. I didn't go that far out. And this is kind of a hedge / hopium play. Yeah, so I've got 5 leaps out there. I did not join you, Showcase, if you're still on any of those longer leaps from the list from that AI guy. I don't know. Will they hit? Probably, but I'm like trying to wrap my head around how many leaps you buy, when you get in, when you exit. They didn't seem like good entries. I have to think about it, but I know Tau is less about trying to find a bottom or a top and just going with momentum on those. Maybe that I've got to wrap my head around that and start doing some more Tau experiments. I know they're risky, and that's cool. And that's actually not the reason why I'm not touching them so much. Is like I wouldn't say I have a good handle on the thought process, the thesis behind them. Chat Sunday on read volume? Huh? Is that a typo? Reading volume? It's probably a typo. It's becoming a topic for you. Fix your typo, Muffin, and then I'll give you my thoughts on that because I don't have any on read. I don't know what that is. So yeah, great week. Next week is shaping up to be a fine week already. A couple of things in the hopper. I've got to make sure I've got all my trades in there because I can't believe how many I've got. I had missed here. Like 3 trades were not in the list. And yeah, looking forward to doing it again another week with all you that have done well on it. But I think I'll trade volume. Got it. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it. It's Saturday. Go enjoy your Saturday. Saul, if you're not asleep yet, good night. I hope you have a good night's sleep. See everybody on Monday at the bakery. And looking forward to it, as always. Fun times. Let me find the stop streaming button. And I'll see you next time. Have a good